Hi everyone, Tracy here from TB's Craft and welcome to today's Creative Crafty Catch-Up. Today we will be making a fun fold card that looks like a book. The edge of the card is adhered down to make it look like a book. Anyway, let's get started. Take a piece of A4 and cut it at 10.5 long ways. Fold it in half and burnish the edge. Take your trimmer, line up the folded piece to 2.5 centimetres and score. On that score line, fold that backwards and burnish to create your book edge. The pieces you'll need today for our card, we have two pieces at 10 at 11.9. The black piece is going to be my layer, the white piece is going to go inside. The next piece I have is the next layer, which is 9 by 10.9 centimetres. I will be embossing that with the 3D embossing folder from Stampin' Up called Hive. The next two pieces I have is 8.6 layer and 7.5 as my top piece. We'll start by embossing our 10.9 by 9 centimetre piece of white cardstock. I'll bring in my Big Shot, which is just out of camera, but that's okay. Place my piece of cardstock inside the embossing folder. As this is a 3D one, we use the base plate, our 3D embossing folder with our card inside, and our blue 3D embossing plate. We'll just run that through the Big Shot and that will give us a beautiful textured background. And that gives us this beautiful hive image, which you could use embossed or debossed. We'll take that piece and we'll adhere that to our layer of 10 by 11.9. And that gives us a nice edge of about 0.5 centimetre. All the way around. I have a piece of Designer Series paper that measures 2 by 10. That piece I'm going to adhere to this little edge piece here. Now on this other one I added ribbon, so you want to add that now before you adhere this piece down to hold your ribbon in place. So we'll add that piece of Designer Series paper onto that edge. We'll then take some glue and put it on the 2.5 centimetre piece. Adhere that down and set that aside to set. Now for our focal image today, we will be using Be My Valentine. I've got some scrap card here and a piece of scrap vellum. We'll be using the Bee Builder Punch by Stampin' Up. We'll take the first piece, which is the body, and I'm going to stamp that in Daffodil Delight. I'll just ink up my stamp and then press that down. And don't forget to clean off your stamp. The next image is the black stripes for the bee. Just mount that up. Ink that up with black Memento ink. And then line that up on top of the yellow as best as I can. There we go. Clean that off. Now this stamp set has a couple of facial images, a smiley face, a winking, and a couple of other images that you can use. I think I'll just use the smiley face. So very small images. Let's just try and find that one, which is there. I want to ink that up and just place that where I'd like it for the bee. There we go. We then place the card into the punch, line it up. I'll just cut that off a bit. Line that up as best as you can and punch that out. And there we have our little buzzy bee. Now I'm going to create some wings for the bee. I'm going to do that in vellum, but I'm also going to stamp that in black. So again, we'll get our Memento ink. Stamp that on the vellum. And punch that out using the heart shape on the punch. There we go. Okay, so this is our top layer. The 8.6 is the border and the 7x5 is our top layer. So I'm just going to adhere that top layer to the black border evenly on all sides. Now, for our bee, I think we're going to get another set of wings to make it double. So ink up, stamp it on the vellum and punch that one out as well. There we go. Okay, so we will layer this up. Give him wings front and back, like that. Yep. Okay. So, what have we got? We've got the base card. This will be our layer. This will be our top layer. And then we'll have our bee on top of that. So I've got some dimensionals here. So I'm going to put a dimensional on the back of the bee, or on the front of the wings here, and then put that towards the back. So that will hold that down as well as form the height. I'm going to put a small amount of glue on the corner of this one, she says. There we go. And then just adhere that to the front, just slightly off center, so it looks like a flapping wings. Then I'll just add another dimensional on the back of this one as well. Okay, and then what we're going to do is place that where we want it on that layer. Now, I'm just going to add a small sentiment to the bottom of that. So again, we'll get some black ink. And just line that up in the bottom left corner. Okay, so that's adhered down now. So we will take some glue, add that to the back of the black card, and then just give that a border evenly around the edge. Adhere that one to the center of this one. Again, another border that's fairly even around the edge. And then we've got our inside. Okay, so this stamp set's got some lovely images in it, and I think I'll just take the honeycomb image and add that to the corner of my inside and my envelope. Just ink that up in black ink. And I'll put that in the bottom corner, I think like that. And similarly, ink that up, make sure my envelope's the right way around, and put that in the top left corner. Now we could leave that blank as is, or we could colour it in. So I've got some daffodil markers here, blends rather. Use the other end, it's a better end. I'm just going to colour that in. It gives it just a little bit more colour. We'll then take that inside panel, pop on some glue, and place that on inside with an even border. There we go. Now we might add some bling. I've got some colours, different colours here that should go with the colour scheme. So we might add some yellow. And maybe a couple of green. Give it a bit of variety. One will do. So there we have it. Our fancy fold book card. And here are the other two. For this one, I used Designer Series paper, and I just added a little bit of that to the envelope. And that one I just put to you on the inside. This one here was a butterfly to bring in the butterfly feature. Thank you very much for joining me today, and I hope to see you next time.